So normally, this kind of idea wouldn't really move the needle too much. Normally, these kinds of topics wouldn't be the most game-changing, revolutionizing kind of things, but this idea, this particular player, this particular team, things that make you go, Today, we are referring to yet another BPM Sports Talk radio segment, this time with Bob Hartley. This, of course, is a former NHL coach. He had some success in the KHL. I believe he also coached the Latvian national team at a few tournaments or something like that. Yeah, Bob Hartley has had a very interesting hockey coaching career, but he had this appearance on BPM Sports earlier yesterday that I thought was hella interesting, and I wanted to make a video about it. Le Canadien a bonsoir Arber Xhekaj pour son... Okay, we're not gonna read that. Let's go to an article on HabsFanatics.com that goes out there and asks the question. The Canadiens need Arber Xhekaj for his physical play, but he no longer seems to have a spot in the top 6. Could he be used as a forward? Bob Hartley asks. I'm the biggest supporter of Arber Xhekaj. I believe in those players. Right now, he's all over the place. That's okay, but we'll get him back on track. Now, this, normally, is not the craziest idea in the world. Oh, you have a guy on defense, you move him up to forward. Great. What is this, some sort of like Victor Mete, Alex Biega type experiment? Is this even really worth discussing? Well, when you pair this idea with a few other thoughts that have been tossed out there in the world of Canadiens coverage, I wanted to turn your attention to an article published by Arpon Basu. This was also from yesterday. There is a clear battle in the Canadiens training camp between Arber Xhekaj and Jayden Struble for a spot in the opening night lineup, and for all sorts of reasons, it's one Struble is decisively winning right now. And linked is an article that Basu published on The Athletic talking about how Jayden Struble has further staked his claim to opening a spot in the lineup over Arber Xhekaj. And with this in mind, essentially what Basu writes about in the article is that even though Arber Xhekaj has all of these physical tools, even though he's a guy who stands up for his teammates, he is the sheriff after all, even though he's leading the preseason in penalty minutes, plain and simple, Jayden Struble has just been the more defensively sound hockey player. And that's not to say that Struble is a better agitator or a fighter than Xhekaj, absolutely not. It's just, you know, hockey is a sport. You're supposed to play hockey, and playing hockey includes being able to play defense and making good reads and sending the puck up and just getting the puck out of your own zone safely and not just being physical, hitting guys, taking guys out, and going for big hits. Arber Xhekaj is great at the latter, but maybe not as good as some of the other players on the team already when it comes to playing a proper hockey game. Which is why the Bob Hartley idea is one that really tickles my fancy, because Bob Hartley saying that the Canadiens might actually have an opportunity here to put Arber Xhekaj in their forward core could make things really interesting. Firstly, what that does for the Canadiens structurally is it gives the Habs a short-term replacement for Patrik Laine. I say short-term because Laine is only going to be out 2-3 months, but a guy like Xhekaj fills in a roster spot. Okay, that's the easy conclusion to make. But also, if Arber Xhekaj, the sheriff, is going out there as a forward, and he doesn't need to worry about defense, he doesn't need to worry about back-checking, he doesn't need to worry about shoving guys out in front of his goalie and doing all the things that a defenseman has to do, then Arber Xhekaj would kind of have free reign to do whatever it is that he wants outside of the defensive zone, and especially in the offensive zone. Imagine Arber Xhekaj battling for a puck on the boards in the opposing team's corner. Imagine Arber Xhekaj getting involved on the rush and using his size to maybe get around guys and potentially even contribute some offense. Imagine Arber Xhekaj standing up for his teammates in the heat of the battle right there as a hard-nosed forechecker. This guy, honestly, if you play him at forward, I feel like he would exhibit a really similar profile to what we're seeing out of Matt Rempe in the New York Rangers system. big dude, solid forward, just goes around hitting everybody, and he creates havoc for the opposing team every time he's on the ice. Now, you can fully agree with the idea that says that a guy like Matt Rempe shouldn't even be in the NHL. Like, he doesn't really contribute much offensively, and the things that he does do are more reckless to the opposing teams than they are helpful to the New York Rangers. But the fact is, Matt Rempe is in the NHL, and whether or not you like or dislike the role that he has, the role is still there, and he still does it well. So for Arber Xhekaj, I think that honestly, if you wanted to put him at forward, let's say you throw him on a fourth line, or heck, even a third line, if you wanted to make Josh Anderson and Christian Dvorak's job just a little bit easier. You throw him on the third line, and you let him cause havoc. You don't have to take away another defenseman to fill in a roster spot there. You can just move Xhekaj up to forward. Imagine Xhekaj and Gallagher on the same fourth line. Who's gonna stop that line? Who's going to go out there and have a physical response to Gallagher in the crease and Arber Xhekaj as his bodyguard? Not to say that Xhekaj can't do all those things if he plays defense, but there's sort of a more defined responsibility when you're playing D. If you're a forward, you're a winger, you don't have the same level of defensive responsibility. So, honestly, Bob Hartley's crazy idea of tossing out Arber Xhekaj in a forward spot actually does make more sense to me than it doesn't, and I see a lot of Matt Rempe in that sort of profile there. If you wanted to go long-term, I mean, think about it. The Montreal Canadiens, if they suit up with Florian Xhekaj and Arber Xhekaj on the same line, if you had Luke Tuck in there, and you had Raphael Harvey-Pinard, Pezzetta, all in the bottom six, nobody is going to want to screw around with the Montreal Canadiens. They're just going to get their crap kicked in. No more high hits by Ridley Grigg. No more Ryan Reeves going out there and torturing guys. No more this, no more that. Maybe even Matt Rempe gets stopped in his tracks. The Montreal Canadiens have a really interesting opportunity if they decide to place a guy like Xhekaj at forward. And I wanted to make this video so you can let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. The D-core is already pretty packed, and Arpon Basu is saying that Xhekaj's spot isn't really guaranteed anymore because Jayden Struble has just been kind of better. So, for Xhekaj, if you think his presence on the team is as valuable as many Canadiens fans are saying it is, hey, we need the sheriff here. We can't go around playing these games without a guy like Xhekaj in the lineup because he's one of the main guys that stands up for his teammates and polices the game for Montreal. If you cannot afford to lose him in the lineup, why not keep him and move some guys up in the forward core so that you fill in the Patrick Laine roster spot? You don't need to make a trade for a guy like Zegras or whatever, and now you have this pristine enforcer, this bodyguard of a guy to make sure that nobody goes out there and messes with the Montreal Canadiens. This could be Matt Rempe, but in Montreal. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this entire idea. The video is going to be linked in the article, which will be linked in the description. Yeah, just go ahead and click the article. It'll have the video with Bob Hartley talking about it in the piece there. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of Arber Xhekaj being a forward? And do you think this is as good as I'm thinking about it to being? Thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.